So anyway, we go over the ground rules. If there's holes in the park somewhere where we could have bad situations, we say in certain situations we're going to make sure that we've got somebody looking at that. We go over our mechanics, our coverages. So we have certain coverages in certain situations. Nobody on. What are we doing? If there's one umpire leaves the field, we're going to have do different things than if everybody stays in. We're going to rotate differently.
I was kind of talking about that.
Yeah.
The last night when I was mic'd up, kind of talking through rotations and say, if this happens, this is where Tyler's going. This is where Lau's going. Our pregame is different tonight than it would be the first night. So the first night we never met Tyler. Lau and I know each other. So we came in, we talked through all the rotations, all the situations. Nobody on, guy on first and second, guy on first, second, and third is where I'm going. Just because, there's a book, but everybody kind of has their own style and their own kind of way they do certain situations.
Especially important because, like he just mentioned, they've worked with each other. I'm new to the crew. I've never umpired at this field before, so all the stuff about the park is especially important for me. Like the ball was flying off the bat for me here.
Communication's huge. So like if we read each other, so we always have chest to the ball, we're always looking at the ball, we always know where our partner is, where the runners are, okay, and obviously the batter runner. So those are the things that we need to know. Where's the ball, okay, and where's our partner? So we look at each other, read the ball, look at each other. If he's gone out, then I do something different than if he's coming in, stuff like that. So we're always, communication's huge in certain situations. So.
Yeah. So we got a night like tonight where we've been together now. This will be our third night in a row. We'll talk about last night's games and some of the plays, maybe even the night before. We had some rules questions from the first game, and we looked that up and just clarified, make sure we're all on the same page there. Pioneer League specifically has some nuances with their rules, and so we'll have those conversations in here. Tonight's a big night, a little bit. We got kind of a grudge match tonight with Idaho Falls winning the first game and Ogden winning last night, so a little bit more to play for tonight. We had a little bit of tension between the dugouts last night, so we kind of talked through how we're going to manage that and maybe have our ears a little more open tonight and keeping things tempered and just keeping the game going, being aware of maybe some gamesmanship that might be or may not be going on.
You get lower the front. Okay, you got
Good.
a big catcher. You got a big catcher.
Hey, we're not talking balls and strikes.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him.
Okay.
I'm talking about stance.
Okay.
Get a better stance. So
I'm calling.
You do a better stance so he can see better.
I can see.
He's having a hard time.
No.
Okay,
Coach.
He's having a hard time seeing, so you do a better job.
Coach, this is your
Okay?
warning on balls and strikes.
I'm not talking to you. You have a chip on your shoulder? Or
No,
what?
I don't.
Hey, I'm talking to Kyle. Come on, Lyle. You're better than that, aren't you? You're a lot better than
Okay,
that. I'm talking to
stop.
you to get better. He needs to get better.
Okay.
And that'll help you get better. Right?
Stop.
Well, it will.
We've had our warning.
But to Lyle's point, communication is huge, and that starts in the pregame, this conversation, but it also bleeds out on the field. You'll see, the base guys getting together in between innings. I did this last night with the mic on, just talking through, hey, that play, you had me coming here, right? You knew I was there, that kind of stuff. You heard me when I told you I was inside, that kind of conversation. So.
And another big thing with the communication is how rapid it is, and a lot of it is non-verbal. We have to just glance over and see what our partner's doing. And one thing that is different for umpires than fans and players and coaches and managers is, when we see a big fly ball, almost everyone else except the umpire watches the ball the whole way. Once we get a read on it, we immediately start reading what our other umpires are doing, because that's going to dictate the rest of the play, like we were talking about with the rotations and the mechanics and all that stuff. We obviously get back to the fly ball, but the communication can start pre-pitch. You'll see some signals like this or staying home or an infield fly, and then Lyle goes out on a ball. That communication is, I can't hear him. We have a couple thousand people here. I'm over at third base, he's over at first base. That's the difference between being a spectator and an umpire. It's like a Rubik's Cube. You think you got one side figured out, and you've totally botched the other side. Hand signals or just reading your partner is basically how you umpire. Because then if I know I've got people on my back side and my front side, that means I can work a base in a totally different way, because I know I'm covered if we get into a rundown or something like that. As opposed to like a two-man crew, you've got multiple runners, one guy's got to split the difference with those runners. And fortunately, we all know this, in two-man you're not going to get the best look that you would like to get on all those plays. So pre-pitch communication leads to way better results in the end.
Yeah. So you have situations where if the ball's hit to the outfield, what am I doing? If the ball's hit to the infield, what am I doing? Stuff like that. So it's sort of like muscle memory. If we've had a lot of experience doing games, you know the four things that you need to pre-pitch.
Set!
This happens, then you already know where to go. And so, if you've done a lot of games, then that's the way you learn.
Yeah. So for me, it's picking the ball immediately up off the bat, just angle wise, and then I'm going immediately to the fielders to read them, because they'll take me to the ball, and then I'm immediately looking at my partner, and those three things happen within about a second and a half, 2 seconds, right? And picking up the ball and the fielders, and then you're seeing if your partner is heading out for that ball or if you're just in a normal 3-man rotation.
Right. Game 1, we had a shot to the shortstop, and we both had different angles at it, and it was, I had a great angle. It was my call because I was glove side, came up with it, and his first instinct was it was a catch. But in reality, because I read bat off the ball and had a little bit better angle, then I came up with it, and it changed the whole outcome of that whole play.
You last night, there's a couple times where if you banged it quickly, you would have missed it, but your timing was so great that you were able to see either the drop pitch or the whatever. I don't even remember the exact situation, but it prompted me to start talking about timing. And to your point, that play at shortstop the first night, if you come up and bang that, because you thought it was a catch, if you come up and bang it and he safes it, now we got a little issue going on. We got to go sort out, and now the coach is like, "What the heck's going on?" And
the way that ball was hit, and by the time the shortstop had swung his mitt around to where I could see it, I had the ball in the mitt. I never saw a short hop, and I looked at Lyle right away, and Lyle came up strong, big, no catch mechanic. And another part about timing is, that shortstop also knew he didn't catch it, and it led to a rundown. Led to 2 rundowns, 2 outs on that play, both of them with rundowns. If I come up with an out, all they have to do is throw that ball to third base, and I have the double play there. Then I've got a huge argument with the third base coach who's right there, and I would have totally ruined the play, and it would have just been bad umpiring. But Lyle had the best call. I said that when we got in the locker room. I said that was the call of the night. And you read the shortstop, he knew he didn't catch it, so what's he trying to do? He's trying to get the out at home. Because if he thought he caught it, he would have just gone over to third base super easily.
That's a great point. He comes up and he starts going at home. If he knew he caught it, he would have just doubled up one of the other 2 guys out there. It's the same kind of thing on a hit pitch, or a foul ball off the guy's foot. We've had a couple of those, not this series, but previous series, where coach thought it was off his foot, and Jeff even said, "Hey, that got him." And I said, "It might have." And I said, but I'm watching him, and he just took off for first. If he gets hit, he's at least limping or taking a soft step, if not just dropping and selling it, right? And next inning, Jeff comes out to me and says, "You're right. That's why you guys get the big bucks."
The funniest thing I've ever heard, I cannot say on camera. But I'll say for me, the crowd's riding me. I like a bigger crowd because it kind of drowns out the individual stuff. There's kind of a murmur, right? And I honestly do feel bad for a lot of umpires working high school baseball and lower levels because they don't have crowds. And not to go on a big rant, but a lot of parents nowadays are very brutal, and it's leading to a gigantic umpire shortage.
There's no way in you watch ball. You cannot watch the play. You're not that good. You're not that good. You can't watch ball. Don't give me that
Yeah. No, you're exactly right though, right? I mean, during COVID and the comeback with the college season, they weren't allowing fans other than maybe a couple of wives or whatnot, and it was weird and not as much fun. And then when you did get a heckler, you could hear them individually, and it's just kind of weird. But it definitely, the bigger the crowd, the better, and makes the whole game better, I think.